What's up, everybody? How's it hanging? It has been a little bit. I think I missed the last 2 weeks. You know, there's just a lot going on. And sometimes in life, you get some interruptions, right? And you just gotta keep trucking. You just gotta keep going back onto the saddle. And that's, let me turn my mic down a bit. That's what I'm basically been trying to do, is get back into the painting groove. Because it has been like 3 weeks since I painted. And I can feel it. I can feel the skills wearing down. And it's been a little bit since I touched base on this particular model. So I'll have to remember a few things, but I know that all I'll have to do is the base. But outside of that, I just released my first part of the Bangarang video. I had a ton of fun building that thing. Super impressed with myself on how I painted it. Working on a few other things and editing that second part of how I painted it. A few other things in the works. I started working on some more Malipo stuff that I've had hanging around for a little bit, and yeah. But that's basically what's been up with me. So let's just go ahead and get to it. Looks like we got Zombie Daredevil here. So there's going to be a few things that I will need to touch up on. First off, I didn't even realize this until a little after the last stream, but right here in the back of the arm, not painted. So I gotta fill in that. There's like a little spot back here on his leg that's not painted. Let's see what else. A little spot on his foot here that's not painted. I guess in the cold light of day, you see a lot of this stuff. And outside of that, there were a few other things that were in my mind that I thought I needed to fix, but now that I'm looking at it again, I can't really recall what other stuff there was. But regardless, we'll fix those things up, and then we will do the base. So we're gonna I'm not even gonna worry about getting them perfectly covered, these little spots, but I'm just gonna get my little base coat of deep red, shake it up, throw it onto my palette, and let's get to it, shall we? Get a little water on that. Best thing to do when you have been out of the groove of painting is just get that first stroke out of the way as soon as possible. Got that back of the arm. Move this up a little bit so it's out of the way. The back of this leg here. Is this painted? It's just a little speck of dust. I feel like there were other parts that I'm missing. I guess that's really it. Oh, there's a little part right here. These are parts that no one's gonna notice except me. And even then, I'll probably forget. gonna move this mic a little bit out of the way. Sorry, I was doing some like last minute adjustments on everything before I got started. It's if you don't do it all the time, it starts to you start to forget what all the things you needed. And I was scrambling because I was just eating lunch, a late lunch before starting. I'm gonna do a couple things for business as well. I think that ought to do. All right, so on the main model, just got to do some of the skin. So last time, I believe what we did was we did the little olive. So I'm gonna get that out. Had some of this Sherwood green, which is a pretty cool color. And then I think I'm gonna highlight that with some dead flesh. So I think I'm actually going to start with dead flesh, like highlighted already, and then I'll glaze into it that camo green, that Sherwood green. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out in the palette. And I just sprayed it all over. Oh, buddy. It's a great start. Let me show you. Well, I got plenty of this dead flesh going around. Let me put some of this on the palette as well. All right. Nothing to it but to do it. This needs a little more mixing. It's really thin. I think all the medium went up to the top, so let me re-put this out. Even though I put a ton under the palette on accident. Just splooshed out, you know. Oh my goodness. There we go. I'm just a Butterfingers today. You ever been like that? Just dropping everything. Alright, back to it. Doing highlights of dead flesh here. Okay. It pops out suitably well. Now we gotta do the face. Now this is gonna look quirky at first, but we're gonna fix it all up with glazes and washes. I think I'm going to highlight a little more on his shoulder here. Okay, now we take some glaze medium. We're going to throw it onto our Sherwood grain to bring it down a little. A little water. Subtle difference. Little bit. Fine, because we're going to glaze it down a little bit further with some other washes. Okay, so now that we've gotten all of this stuff glazed in that grain, let's brighten this up a bit. You can see the difference between the face and the parts that I just glazed. It tints it down a little bit. So now we're going to do the same thing, and by leaving those areas that were darkened by the khaki or the olive wash, it sort of creates a filter. It's like pre-shading. We do the same thing here. Now that we've gotten that, he's like a nice radioactive green. We're gonna take some of this Warlord purple. It's a nice neon-like magenta. We're gonna blaze that in there. Sherwood green and the magenta are like opposites, so they'll work really well in contrast. It's like the Joker, you know? His color scheme. He uses purple and magentas against the lime green. So test it out on a part that I don't really care too much about. See how it looks a little sore. Let's move that off a bit. If I can pull it a little closer. That way you guys get a better effect. Better look. Up a little bit to bring those highlights back in a second. bad. Now I'm gonna take some purple wash and glaze those in there. Shoot. Clumsy Clara today, telling you what. What happens when you take a little bit of time off of painting? It's like you have to relearn all over again. Especially when you were in like the middle of a project. Okay, and now we just need to bring out the face again by highlighting it, closing your precarious wash. I'm gonna mix my dead flesh in with my camo or my Sherwood green before going into dead flesh. Dead flesh. Looks a little derpy. Let's wash that back down again. Good enough. Okay, what else? I think I can call that skin done. I might take some blood effects. Do I have any in front of me? Let's see. Yeah, I can get some blood effects. I'll be right back. Okay. Get some blood for the blood god. Take my brush that I'm not so precious with. Take a little bit of this. Tiny bit. Tried on one little fleck of paint. Do all that work to cover it up with blood, right? Maybe a little blood on his baton? Let's try the back one. Seems appropriate. Seems good. We'll throw a little more blood in his mouth. Why not? Alright, I think that is it for Daredevil himself. We're gonna do one little inspection, and then we're gonna slap on some paint for the base. Let's see here. Yeah, I think he's pretty much done. Alright, so for the base, I'm thinking we need to offset the warm colors, right? Like all of the red is hot, like warm colors, and purple as the shading. So I already kind of offset it with the cool blue grays on the black, as well as this foul green set of eyes. But what I really want to do is have all this stonework here done as like really cool cold tones, and then mix them up with like a spot here or there or something. But at the end of it all, I want some light shining, kind of like how I painted Rogue, with some, rim lighting. And I don't know if I want to do that as turquoise or lime green. Lime green seems pretty cool, but I think he might look Christmassy, so we'll go turquoise. So how are we going to do cool colors in the stone? Well, I've got this cold flesh. It's like a gray with some blue or purple tones. I think that's gonna be the main bit. Got this forest skin. It's more of a warm tone, so we're gonna throw that out. I've got this frozen flesh, which is like a gray purple. Got this green here. We'll throw it to contrast, but not too much. I think we'll also cool it down with some night blue. Let's see what these look like. Yeah. That seems to work. Where else? We'll need some white to throw in that mix. Lighten things up. And then, what else can we do to offset this? I think I'm gonna also probably try to mix in my staples of anthracite gray and Arctic blue. Like they're blue grays. So that's how we're gonna offset everything. Let's go ahead, throw them all onto the palette. And I'm gonna wipe off this excess dead flesh medium stuff or whatever it is. That way I don't waste any room on the palette. Seems good enough. Alright. Let's just start throwing stuff on there. First, our base of cold flesh. Now I'm gonna paint a lot more loose, so I'm probably gonna need a lot of these different paints. So that way, I'm just gonna paint it like very loosely onto this guy. All right. So next is the frozen flesh. Oh, that's darker than I thought. That's nice. Then we're gonna throw on some night blue, just to cool it down. Then we're going to throw in some anthracite gray. Maybe this is probably going to be our basis, or like a cool mix. We're gonna take this Arctic blue, white, lighten things up, and a tone to throw everything a little differently. Some screen. Oh, I need to mix this with the mixer. So this is gonna be pretty loose right here. Let's go ahead and throw this up a little bit. That way you can see, like, this is something I've been trying to do more often, is not be so stringent on how I paint. So let's go ahead and start with a little bit of this. Some water in there. Throw this on here. See what it looks like. Now we'll throw in some of this frozen flesh in the mix. Wet blend it a bit. Careful with the flex. I've been watching a lot of James Wapple lately. He was one of my early inspirations in painting that I just felt like I could never figure out how to paint like that, and now I'm gonna try to channel that a little bit. Let's wash off the brush and get a little bit of this solid here. Do some wet blendings. Take a little bit of this night blue here. Well, no, let's start with this anthracite gray. Take a little bit of this frozen here. Mix in these colors a bit. Maybe throw in a little night blue in there. See what that looks like. It's a little dark, which is great. Take some of that light gray, light blue, mix it all in there. Here. It's real loose, real messy painting, right? It kind of gives me a little burst of anxiety. But we're trying new things. Yeah. Rinse off the brush. Let's start getting a little darker in our tones. Now the goal, or the idea that I'm thinking of, is that we want to actually paint lighter onto this than we think it needs to be. Because I'm going to glaze on in a minute. Once it's all dried and mixed on there, we're going to glaze or wash a lot of paint onto there. We haven't thrown in any of this Arctic blue yet. And what you do is you loosely underpaint the stuff that you're thinking of. And let the colors all run together. And then you join them all together with washes and glazes. Doesn't seem like much. Let's throw some green in there. But maybe it comes together when we do the washes. This is definitely not a type of painting that I'm very comfortable with. But you always gotta try new things. And the other part about this too is you don't want to focus too much on details at this stage. At least that's what Jamie says. He actually tells you to hold it at the end of your brush so that you don't spend too much time on any details. We'll see if it works. Gives a little nice teal here. That's pretty cool. Oops. Happy little accident there. Let's go ahead and throw our lighter grays back onto that. I don't know how he does it. Like, to be honest, it's so loosey-goosey that it's so uncomfortable for me. Luckily, it's just stone basing, so it's not a crazy deal. But it's just so not what I'm used to doing. Alright, let's get some coverage on there. See, this is where it feels like it's a little more successful. By shading in. And then wet blending them a little bit. I want to keep this side a lot darker. That way, when we put that light on it, it will really pop, you know. That, like, right there, I can see it coming along. Going into other colors. Rinse this off. I think I'm gonna stay away from the greens for now. Now that I'm looking at it after it's done, it's not nearly as well. This is kind of a warmer gray as well. So maybe this will pop off of the blue that we're putting in the other side. This one doesn't have so much coverage, so let's get back to the light gray. Super not comfortable with this style. That's okay. Okay, what else? Let's throw in... Still gotta cover that part, so let's throw in some more anthracite gray into this. A little teal looking color. Right in there. Then throw in some dark blue. Wipe this off a little bit. Oops, that's all right. Now to merge them together, I'll take some of this purple gray looking thing and wet blend it while it's still here. Maybe throw in some red into this. Make it a little warmer and darker. Little red, little blue, turn it purplish, like more dark purple. More blue than red. Yeah, that ought to work. I like that. Ooh, I really like that. That's pretty cool. It's like a little neon effect. Like a neon sign or something. Now that we've gotten those places in there, we're going to blend them up to the light grays, bring it all together. Bob's your uncle. Who the heck is Bob? That sort of stuff. Oop, a little too much there. Need to lighten this up a bit. There we go. What up, Steve Jones? Sorry to work with Slam. No need to apologize. You're Mr. Jones. I appreciate you showing up. How's everything been? How's life been? It's been a little bit, huh? Since I've streamed. Daredevil's looking great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm doing this new technique. I've been watching James Wapple over the last couple days while I hadn't been able to paint so much. And I'm gonna try this loosey-goosey style a little bit more. One, because painters like him and Sleepy Slang, they get shit done. They get shit done fast. And it's a cool, unique style. So I'm like, let me ape some of your tech. Life's been good, stormy weather, but good. Yeah, weather's been kind of crazy. Down here in Tejas, it's gonna get hot real soon, and I hate it. We had a nice little amount of time where the weather wasn't like killing us, but now it is. It's gonna. They use paint hacks. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here. Is like, well, I took like how long on Daredevil himself. Now this time I'm gonna go loosey goosey. This time I'm just gonna paint with the colors of the wind. Just keep some principles of like, well, the red's real warm. Let's start doing some cooler colors. Sunshine is currently 1 billion degrees. Oh man, yeah. World's on fire. How about yours? I think I'm gonna let that dry a little. Oh, you know what? We can use some of this dark purple here. And... oh, I just ruined all this work, but that's fine. Everything's fine. What you been painting? More MCP? Working on Ghost Spider and Moon Knight for MCP, lots of white tones. Yeah, white. Like, it's cool because, like, white, you can go cool or neutral, like with grays. I like a cool gray. And Moon Knight, like, he gives you so many cool opportunities to, like, do setting. So, like, even though he's white, you can have, like, a lot of contrast because he's usually seen in darkness, right? And then, so then you've got the contrast of, like, the mood setting lighting, and then you can have all the reflected light on him. But, at the end of the day, what I really hate about it, all the freaking cape. Cape is, like, one of the few things I really don't enjoy so much painting. I don't have a problem with it, I just don't enjoy it. I want armor, not cape. I prefer cooler grays and whites. Yeah, I like blues in my grays. That's why I like my workhorse is anthracite and anthracite gray and Arctic blue from Scale Color, because those things, I mean, I threw it in the space. Let's see, this could use a little darkening. Think of hitting him from below with blaze purples for atmosphere. Heck yeah, brother. Then put in a neon sign, like a lime green and pink neon sign, and have that coming off, because, you know, you don't need stuff to be super complicated. And then a hologram. What's the point of painting miniatures if you can't go extra, you know? Tell you what, painting this loose, it gets stuff done. Because I covered all this surface area, and it's, you know, for most people, this would be good enough. Like, I'm gonna let it all dry before hitting it up again. Boy, I really like this blue I did on here. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be a new thing I do. Let's throw this purple a little stronger here. Alright, stop messing with it. Stop messing with it. But I wanna keep messing with it. Looks so cool. Alright, so the next part, we got the little underpaintings done. Man, I'm really am a fan of this. I think Sleepy Slang and James Wapple are onto something. Do other people know about this? This is crazy. Now that the top's dry, let's go ahead and do some overbrushing on it. Do they know? bit is this anthracite gray. Keep it nice, or this Arctic blue. Tell you what, I'm gonna do this so much more often now. Like, this is such a good technique. And the thing is, like, so years and years ago, probably close to 10 years ago, whenever I first discovered James Wapple's blog on Blogspot, which I love, but I don't really use anymore, but I used to update my Blogspot quite often. When I discovered him, I paid for some of his little video tutorials that you can download, tried it out, and it was not good. So I just pretty much chalked it to, like, it's not really my style. I need to train a little more before I do it. That kind of thinking. Well, just recently, after having painted, like, I think I painted Rogue's base like how I did, similar to this. And I really liked the results, and I really liked how quick it was. And, like, I didn't hate it. Usually when I do stuff like speed paints or quick versions of painting, I usually hate it, and that's why I don't do it. But it got me thinking about James Wapple again, like, trying out that style. I found, when I was thinking about it, I was watching all of his YouTube, and then I found Sleepy Slang's little quote-unquote tutorial. It's like 30 seconds long. It's not really like a comprehensive tutorial, but basically how he underpaints. He'll spray zenithal, then he'll slap on contrast paints of two contrasting colors like teal and orange, and then he'll zenithal it again, and then he'll wash or like highlight accordingly. And so, like, after finding that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this out, this loose painting sort of style, because, like, there's nothing else like it, you know, like, their styles are so distinct. So that's what gave me the cojones to try it out here. And yeah, I mean, I figured trying it out on this Daredevil base is probably a safe bet, because I've already did it similarly to when I did Rogue. And I'm able to accept the teachings of what they said of, like, James Wapple's video now, as opposed to when I tried it, like, say 10 years ago, around that time, because I have a better understanding of color and contrast. And back then I kind of knew it, but I didn't have the vocabulary, like, is what my buddy Mike would say. It's like I just lack the vocabulary, which is a very it's a common theme for me. Is like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I know the result, and I know how to achieve it sometimes. But, like, if I were to try to speak with another, say, classically trained artist, I wouldn't be able to hold my conversation. So, like, now I have a little bit of a better understanding of exactly what they're trying to do when he calls it his shaded base coat. It's really just like values, and like undertones, colors, like just mood and vibe, you know. And then, so, like, James Wapple's tech is, he paints it to a really high value, and then he brings the shading down. And so the reason why I couldn't quite get that back then was because I only painted one way. I painted from dark to light. My first layer is my darkest, my last layer is my lightest. Like, it was the only way. It was sort of like the GW way. And now that I've in the last 2 or 3 years, have been playing around with glazing down and bringing it up, and then like just touching the areas where they need touching, like knowing and recognizing, oh, this needs a little more black, this needs a little more shade, this needs a little more pop. How am I gonna pop it? Not just by adding white like I would have back then. So whenever I first did his lesson, I would try to mimic the colors he used and the brush strokes he used, but really I think the success of the technique can only come like if you can recognize how to make these adjustments real quick and like play really fast and loose. And when Wapple and Sleepy Slang are giving you like the words, the vocabulary that they use, at the end of the day, they're not here doing the brushstroke and seeing what could use an adjustment. So you need to be able to. And that takes a little bit of confidence, like confidence and competence for you to be able to make those adjustments. And here I'm like, oh man, like even though I started off with these colors, I gravitated toward this blue on this side, and I didn't think I was going to use this purple as much. And boy, look at it now. Look. Boy, howdy. It's just crazy. And so, like, now, if I were to recall James Wapple's lessons, I'd be sloshing this whole thing in wash. When really, I only need to enhance the shadows and maybe enhance a few highlights. So, with that being said, I'm gonna get some contrast paints. I'll be right back. Straight up Wapple style. I just got a bunch of random colors. And so after Matic Blue, which is sort of a teal, this unlabeled blue, I forget which one it is, but it's a favorite of mine. This blue green, this blue gray, and this purple. We're gonna keep it all cool, with the exception to the purple being a little warmer. And gonna get plenty of this medium on here. You know what? I'm gonna use a dropper bottle for this. No point in wasting a dropper bottle. Okay, so first up, plenty o medium. God, I hate these bottles with the passion. GW, why are you so complicated? Gotta copyright everything? Probably copyright your breaker. Alright, so that's the medium. Now for sure I'm gonna be needing this shyish purple. like a real dark purple. I'm gonna have to remember where these all are. Because like when they're just on the palette, they don't necessarily look like the color that they are. So my purple's on the left. Man, if only Waffle knew. If only he knew what he's doing to me. Take some of this weird blue. I don't know what. It didn't come with a label, and I got like $1 off from my friendly local gaming store. But it's a nice, strong, saturated blue. This a Kellyan green. Ooh, I like this. You can see it in the bottle. It's like a turquoise. And this Glyph Charger Gray, which is a blue gray. I'm very familiar with this color. Last but certainly not least, this Aftermatic Blue. Now I may not use all these. The idea is to play around with the glaze, see where it takes us. This time I'm going to switch over to a smaller brush, and I'm going to start experimenting in these smaller areas to see what it's like. So first, I'm going to try this. Try this blue. Medium. Rinse it off and mix it around. It's okay, it strengthens the blue. Let's try the purple. It's probably a little bit better. Okay, I'm starting to get a feel for it. See what that looks like when it's dry, before messing around too much. I don't know. Let's try the purple on this area. Take a little medium, maybe. Got a little on his foot, that's fine. Everything's fine. Take a little medium, spread it up a little bit. Okay, so those enhance the colors a little bit. Let's try this blue-green here. looks like. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Caster Milo, sorry I didn't see just now. Do you know the scale of the minis for Unmatched? Some of the scopes look as fun as MCP proxies. I'm also a Cable and Sunfire fan. Okay, so Unmatched, speaking of, I don't have the Marvel ones, but I have these, and I assume that they're similar scale, so let's look. Oh my goodness, all my cards are everywhere. This bugs me. It's like all a mess. The rest of the stream is me organizing this. God, this hurts my soul. We're gonna keep you out so that after this stream, I'm just gonna organize. Okay, so this is Alice from Unmatched. And that's Daredevil, who's close to Malifaux's scale, 30-something mil. So I think that they're closer to... I think they're closer to 28. But, you know, I would say that they're a little bit bigger than an Imperial Guard. Like, tall-wise. Just chaos. Yeah, it is. As you can tell, like, I like to keep everything nice and orderly, and then I see that box, and I'm like, end stream. So, yeah, head size tells a good enough story. Yeah, like, it's hard to compare. Like, for me, my favorite scale is Malifaux, and, MCP's nice, it's big. But like most people's frame of reference is Warhammer, and it's hard because like heroic scale is like throw everything out the window, you know. Like, well, the head and hands are this scale, and they look ridiculous, and then you've got the rest of it is doing who knows what, and even within Warhammer, they're like, well, we have Primaris Marines now. What are those? They're just cooler looking. We figured, you know, with the world going into bigger scales, we'd jump in on that train. Yeah, but, you know, like, how do you explain that story? Oh, the story is you pay for it and it makes sense. I don't know, I'm just hating. But, dude, I really like how this Achillean green or whatever, let me take this out of the way so you can see it better. I guess you can't really. But like that green under the stone is really cool. Thanks for joining, by the way, Caster Milo, as well as Steve Jones, as always. Really like when you guys show up, because then I'm not so alone. Let's throw on this Griffhound Gray into some of these cracks and crevices. Get a little bit of a different story going here. Take a little bit of this medium. Throw it in some spots here and there. Man, this is such a fun technique. What sucks about it, though, it's like, hey, can you recreate this? No. I'll have to watch the recording again. I did Marines mostly when I did Warhammer and did Sabretooth first. Was a huge size jump. Dude, I love that Sabretooth. The one complaint I have is, like, single pose. You know, like, they have multiple models or versions of, you know, different folks, like Cap. There's a couple of them, I think. But I want to have a unique, like, I want options, you know? And I think Steve You and I talked about this a while ago. I'm all about them options, especially after my last video where I made that Bangarang model. I'm sitting here like, you can't hold me. You can't hold me to one type. I'm gonna convert all the time now. I forgot what color this is. I think this is just regular ass blue. Okay, let's get some of this Griffhound Gray in there. It's certainly a more painterly style, which MCP, when they do include head variations, definitely helps. But if there were all the arm sculpts or stances, yes, I think that would help. Yeah, like Cyclops comes with his condom head and his better head, the X-Men from the 90s head. And Cable came with like a gun or whatever, but I'm talking like, I want multi-part kits, man. Like I want to pose my Cable. You know, Cable's like my all-time favorite. I want to pose him. I don't want to have the same Cable as everyone else. My Cable's cooler. I should have got some olive in here. That's fine. This style is so fun. But like, it definitely teaches me that I'm gonna have to like get better at the color wheel, like, and identifying these colors, because it's gonna unlock the tech, you know, like it's gonna really drive home what you can do with it if you understand colors better, you know. I'm so glad that when the contrast paints came out, even though I didn't know how I was going to use them, I was just so excited about the possibility of how you could use them that I just bought them all, you know. And it's gonna work out now, because like I hadn't used them in a very long time, because I you know, like I would just use them as glazes. But like for this tech, man, this is so cool. Like I wanna do this more. Alright, I'm gonna take some Mackelian green, a little bit of contrast medium, throw some of that in there. Okay, now we gotta start working on the other side. Let's look what this regular ass blue does inside the purples. It's a little, makes little sense. Does a little bit of shading and tinting. Let's see what this one does. I think this is the Kellyan green. The other one's Aethermatic blue. It's just staining it more blue. Get some more medium in there. Okay, let's go back to the purples. Maybe a little purple with some Grifhound gray. See how that works out. Fun. Let's see. That's a decent amount on the ground. Let's get back to this area. what would you guys say is your favorite line to paint? Like, have you painted a lot of different lines? Like, one, I would have said a while ago, Infinity, right? Like 2013-ish, 2014-ish. That would have been the pinnacle to me. But nowadays we have so much offering, so much to offer us, that I wonder what defines making it your favorite, like making it fun to paint. Like, I'll admit I no longer have fun painting Warhammer, unless it's like a model, like a specific model or two. But for the most part, I don't really enjoy painting it compared to other lines. Like, I like painting Malifaux, but even then, I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite line to paint, because it varies from faction to faction. Like, I'm not a huge Neverborn, so, well, no, actually I like Neverborn more than Resurrections. But still, like, it really just depends on the model within the faction, because even within Outcast, like, I didn't enjoy painting all of those. So, if you had to pick a line of models that you really enjoyed painting, Malifaux would probably be my closest. I mean, actually, now that I think about it, Cool Mini or Not is, like, I mean, I'm painting it right now, but, like, they're just so fun to paint, and I feel, like, carefree when I paint them. Like, I know it's gonna look good regardless of what styles I try or whatever I do. It just speaks to me. So even though they're not the best sculpts, like, these Marvel Zombies are, like, some of the most fun I've had painting. And, like, I remember when I first opened up second edition, the Zombicide second edition, that was some amazing stuff. Like, that, I remember thinking, this is probably, like, some of the best miniatures I've ever gotten my hands on to paint. Like, the sculpts are so nice. And they're, like, you have to compare it in the context of, like, it's a board game sculpt. You know, like, it's not necessarily trying to win awards of, like, fanciest sculpt ever. But in terms of just, like, artistic fun and creativity, and, like, I love their sculpts. Like, what they do in their stuff. Lotus Fingers Falun Dafa. Astro's theme. What? Baking soda peroxide. Barbados, Uruguay. Okay. That's just strange. But yeah, where was I? Griffhound. These areas. Where else? I could use some darker shades down here. A little bit tough to get to. Looking good. Alright, I need some purples here. from dinner. Matt Murdock is looking great. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, like, got a little lost in thought there. I was, dude, this loose painting is just so nice. Just organic, you know? I would not have pictured it turning out this way. So I think once this dries, I'm gonna assess and do the off-camera lighting. Seems like a nice flow versus a regimented approach. Yeah, you know, like I could see myself practicing this more and getting comfortable enough to do it on my own, like instead of just doing my normal approach, trying this out to get more color variation, like Sleepy Slang and James Wapple. Those guys, I'm just aping a lot from them. Oh man, this is such a great tech. Like, I'm gonna look around and see what other models I can do this on, because I'm gonna, in order to keep my Zombicide consistent, I'm gonna paint, like, reserve this style of painting for just the bases. But, like, I could see myself doing, I got the Bloodborne board game, and I could see myself doing it for that, because those are a lot of organic shapes. I don't want to spend too long on them, and like, I can knock them out real quick just for fun, because those models look really fun to paint. Like, the hunters look cool even though they're really small. The monsters look really cool for this technique, and like, I normally would not get this interesting of stonework in my normal technique. But I will say this, I have to pee. So I'm gonna put ourselves on a quick break. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Probably not even that. Alrighty? Be right back. I've had it on mute this whole time. Oh my goodness. I'm just qualified streamer, guys. What I was saying was, like, well, first off, thank you very much. I've been trying to get out of my comfort zone when it comes to painting. Even because, like, I have tried and true applications and recipes that I always like to do. And as I've been making these videos, like, it became more and more prominent as to, like, if I were to keep doing videos, well, then eventually everyone's gonna see that it's, like, only so many recipes. Like, these paints I have next to me are my staples because I can paint damn near anything with it, but it's stagnant, you know? Like, and in order for you to get better, you gotta always reach, you know? Like, so instead of staying stagnant, I want to sharpen the saw by trying out, you know, new techniques and new ways of thinking, and that includes, you know, playing around with colors and seeing what works and what doesn't, and especially the stuff that doesn't, because, like, I've discovered the more I learn what doesn't work, I tend to keep it in the bank and learn how to make it work like I thought later. Like, which is a surprising part of having been a miniature painter as long as I have, is learning, like, how to keep mistakes in the bank, and then turns out they really weren't mistakes. As Bob Ross would say, happy little mistakes. And by trying these new techniques that I normally wouldn't do, it really sharpens the saw. It really gets me out of my comfort zone to learn how to do these things. Also, the music's louder than your voice. Again, not sure if it's on my end. Oh, let me adjust that. There you go. I can also turn this up. I need to learn how to automate this mix. I don't have, like, a mixing station, so everything is done in different windows and different setups. Like, I'm still trying to learn how to do all this stuff. Live is, it can be nerve-wracking. But, you know, it's good learning. Like, it was funny because me and my wife were watching TikTok during lunch, and we saw this one lady who TikToks or live streams with her. Thank you. Appreciate you telling me when I need to fix stuff. But we were watching TikTok, and it was a lady who live streams with her dog, and I'm sitting here like, one, going, well, how the heck do you get so many people to watch you? I need to learn what you know. But second is, like, she was doing some adjustments or whatever, but I was like, this is a clean setup and you've got everything figured out. One day I will get there where things are done professionally. But you know, on the other side of it, can't be too hard on yourself. It's live, and I'm a one-man band. I don't have a producer or anything telling me when I need to change stuff or like live mixing for me. So, you know, considering, it's not too bad, not too shabby. The other thing though, do you watch Twitch streams? Or do you only watch on YouTube? I used to only watch on Twitch, and I don't really catch so much on YouTube. I don't know if it's the algorithm not feeding it to me, or if it's just not as prominent on YouTube, and most people stick to their Twitch for streaming. But I'll be honest, I've been contemplating lately on if I should switch my live streams over to Twitch, because I think ever since I started doing two things on the channel, which were live streams and podcasts, my you do watch generally not model painting content. Yeah, like but like ever since I started on YouTube live streams, all of my normal videos are not getting nearly as much in impressions as they used to. And I wonder, I'm like, is this why people separate their stuff on their channels? Because I read about that with like shorts. People who do shorts don't really transfer those same viewers into long form viewing, because when you're on YouTube doing shorts, it's like you're on TikTok. You're there for like one thing. You're not really switching between the two. So people who do shorts don't tend to transfer a lot of them over to long views, so they tend to stick to shorts. Or if you're long views, you tend to stick to long views. And ever since I started doing both podcasts and streams, like, they're super fun. And I like having it all in one place. But I think YouTube takes that into account and has difficulty pushing out my normal videos. Like, one of my fears was when I released the last one just yesterday, is like, is it not going to push it nearly as much because I'm doing a live stream the next day? Because I did a little experiment before with that, and it seemed to be the case. So I'm wondering, do I create a separate channel for lives? Do I just go to Twitch? I will tell you this, as a millennial, Twitch confuses me. I am scared and confused when I'm on Twitch. I don't know what's going on. I remember one time I was watching Next Level Painting, because he's one of my favorites, and his stream was ending, and he was like thanking everybody, and I was just watching, and he was like, all right, we're gonna raid so and so. I'm like, what? Next thing you know, I'm watching some other one with all the same people, and everybody's like, oh, we got raided. And I'm like, I have no idea what I just participated in. Is this legal? No, like, and so I streamed on Twitch when I first started, just to see what it was like, and the setup is a lot easier. There are some downsides, like it doesn't record, and you're only on when you're on. Like these live streams you can watch later, but at the same time though, like, I don't know, I feel like I worry about my channel getting affected. Like my normal. You watch Kenny Boucher on Twitch as well. Literally the best of all. Literal best day of the week. Yeah, like, I was thinking though of like possibly going on Twitch for these hangouts and seeing if that gets viewership of my normal videos up, because it it's a direct correlation of like in terms of impressions between like the other part of it too is that it's slightly different content, so I don't know if it's that, but I noticed it. So I'm like, is YouTube the best place for live streams? We'll see. We'll see how this last video and its sister video, when it comes out, performs. I'm slowing down on the podcast as it is because it's not really getting any traction, and it's not like a ton of work, but it is work. And anytime you're doing, you know, you're allocating resources away from your main thing, it's got to be worth it. And it's not like it's getting any attention, so maybe we'll just put that on the burner. But I've seen I've heard of other YouTubers saying they separate their channels out to make it cleaner when they rebrand. I don't know. Just some guy trying to make YouTube videos, you know. No, but if you say that you watch on Twitch, then at least I know if I go there, you can follow me there. And I'd probably do close to the same schedule, Tuesdays. We'll see. Because I like these hangouts. They're super fun. Like, I love them. I love them. But if it's affecting watch time hours, which it's like, one, I'm like, why? Why would it do that? Come on, YouTube. Why is your algo so crazy? Because I want to hit that watch time milestone. But, what do I know? Shoot. Oh, crap. Just noticed I painted all over Daredevil, but that's fine. While I was doing the stonework. Okay, now I'm gonna mix this purple with the gray. Get a little gnat for highlights here so that they're not so stark.
Still a little stark, but we'll go over that in a second.
To me, Twitch is a place for live content as viewers are more inclined to stay even if it's idle. You're the only one I'm the only one you watch on YouTube? Yeah, oh, well, firstly, thank you. Secondly, though, that might solidify my answer of probably switching over to Twitch for live. Just because, like, I think it really is affecting the long form stuff. And we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Like, if it lasts a while. I'll let you know. I think that's, well, one more layer of highlight. Let's go up to the... what is it called? Arctic Blue. Yeah, that's probably explains why I don't see so many live painters. I'm the only weirdo. YouTube's more of a place for people to watch shorter form content and get lost in the inevitable rabbit hole. Yeah, you're right. That's probably the best. Appreciate it. I love the feedback. Oh, you know, I was thinking about the other day. I watched Quantumania for the first time. Ew. Like the middle ground between TikTok and Twitch. Yeah. But yeah, Quantumania did not need to do MODOK. They did not need to do that at all. I was so uncomfortable with MODOK. Like, you know how, like, when kids first see the clown and then their face goes... That was me. That was me. I had no idea what Quantumania was or, like, what, you know, I never watched any trailers, nothing like that. I just heard people had opinions about it and watched it and I was like, no, which sucks. Because I liked the Ant-Man movies, but then I rewatched the other Ant-Mans, and they didn't even have the same tone. It wasn't even, like, it was crazy. And, like, all the explanations were just so convenient. Quantumania was rough, but MODOK made it really bad. Yeah, and it's crazy because I liked that particular Kang, which I know there's issues with that dude. You know, but, like, that Kang was a cool Kang. And I liked how it was tying into, you know, Loki. But, boy, howdy, that was just... Who made the decision to do MODOK? Like, MODOK works in the cartoons and the comics, not in live action. He could have been a cartoon. And the other thing, too, though, is, like, all the explanations of this quantum realm were so convenient. And I'm rewatching Ant-Man 1 right now again, for like the 10th time. And so much better. And then the way they explain Quantum Realm in 1, then 2, when they go back in there, by the 3rd time, it's not like even a big deal, even though most of them haven't been there. It's like, y'all need to remember these little things. And then suddenly, like, Cassie's like, oh yeah, I have a suit. Like, hold up there, guys. That's some irresponsible grandparenting there. I finished Born Again. Yes. Yes, I finished, I think we talked about it a little bit before. That's what got me to paint this Matt Murdock, but, I wanted one more episode, for crying out loud. Like, it's like... There was another thing about the season that I waited until I watched the whole thing, and I might reserve this opinion. Actually, I will reserve this opinion until I rewatch it again, not weekly, but all at once. But it felt disjointed, and I know that they had the writer thing after episode 2 or whatever, but even then, it felt disjointed. Like, the bank scene, to me, was post whenever they rewrote, and it was probably the most disjointed to me out of everything. Like, in terms of what bearing does this have on the season? What consequence does it have? If it was supposed to be Matt's catalyst into going back into being a Daredevil again or whatever, well, it could have been done in much better, more threatening stakes, like higher stakes, less silly, you know? Like, he felt like he was in control the whole time. And it's like, I don't feel like that would have been the catalyst to get him into the market again. So, like, I had some reserved opinions. Now, I still liked that they went and did Daredevil. Like, I'll take that any day of the week. Especially more Frank, you know? More Punisher in there. But, you know, like, one more episode would have been great as the finale. That, like, to me, I'm like, you can't do all this build-up in the last 3 episodes. 3 or so episodes. And then be like, next time on Dragon Ball Z. Like, no, man. You gotta pay off for the people who watched all the episodes of that season. So, like, I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it, but it felt like they were edging me, man. You could definitely tell where the rewrite started. Total shift starting episode 4. Yep. And I liked that the part with him, you know, taking the bullet for spoilies for Kingpin and whatnot. And I liked the therapy stuff. There was lots I liked about it. But the main thing, though, is, like, as an overarch, because I like watching TV shows a lot. Like, I watch a lot of TV shows, and I like analyzing them as an entire thing. Like, comparing 1 to 2 and whatever, like, just seeing arcs. That's, like, my favorite part about TV shows with that sort of format is, like, seeing how far one character goes, what their motivations are, and how they change. And if you watch 1 through 3, you see the test of Matt's faith, which is a huge, huge theme in Daredevil. And by 3, he lost all his faith in, you know, God and being a hero and whatnot. And it really tested his identity, and he was just... It was perfect. And the arc, the build up to getting back to where he was, yeah, like, amazing. Then Born Again comes, and it's like, who had a mom? Probably Joe, my wife, nuts with all the suggestions of how they could have wrote the story, but yeah, my wife didn't even want to watch it with me because I would have been doing the same thing, like, oh, that's a callback. Oh, but like, yeah, like, how can you have 1 through 3, and 3, the big thing being that he's with his mom, and he finds out halfway through, who, by the way, revealed her secret. So dumb. Like, she knows he's down in the basement. She knows that he can hear all his stuff. And then she goes like, oh, Matt's my son. I hope he's okay. He's just like you, buddy. And it's like, you know that's going to reveal it. Yet, I'm supposed to believe that. But also, when Born Again comes, what is that relationship? It's not like she left. Like, I don't recall in season 3 her leaving. You know? So, like, that could have been a big deal in part of his identity. Like, he left, came back because of her helping him train. Then in Born Again, Foggy dies. You don't think he's gonna lean on the one of 3 pillars he has in life, being his mom. He had Foggy, he had Karen, he had his mom now, as of season 3. Then he also has Frank, but Frank isn't so much a pillar, it's a test. Like, he wants to be Frank, but he hates the idea of Frank. It's counterintuitive to what he goes for. And then, like, Born Again comes along, and it's like, no mommy. Maybe she didn't know you could hear that well. Yeah, that's true. And, well, she knows I thought she knows how well he... And also, he was recovering, and maybe she just had a lapse. Like, that part, easily. And it needs to move the plot, right? Like, you need to move the plot and reveal it in some way. And it's best if it's from her own words, from her own mouth. But, like, in terms of not bringing her back after having lost Foggy, he leaned on her so much in season 3 to not be back in Born Again. And one of the reasons why that really stuck out to me is because I love that dynamic. Like, the strict nun as well as his mother. And, like, I really identified that because I went to Catholic school. I know what that's like and how that sort of influence can shape you. And that's pretty much spot on in how she was like, oh, pity you kind of attitude whenever they were first training. And so, like, I really wanted that dynamic back in the show. So, yeah, I know, right? They barely touched on his faith in Born Again, and that's a pillar of his identity. Isn't it like Marvel always has, like, those 3 pillars or something like that, or their philosophy, and usually one is, like, a huge weakness. And his faith is one of them. Like, it's both his strength as well as the thing that really, like, tests his identity. He has crises, because without his faith, he'd be Frank. He'd be Punisher. He's basically one step away. Although, I think we mentioned it before, whenever they were attacked in the apartment, and Frank's, like, killing, he's like, oh, you mean, like, this guy? And then Matt's like, oh, you... Come on, stop it. Stop doing that whole killing thing that I'm completely against. Oh, you mean like this? It's funny how in the MCU, like, they don't really... in the comics, there's so many characters whose line is killing. Like, that's what stops them. It's like Batman. Like, that's one of his pillars. It's like, I'll do everything up to killing you. I will cripple you for life, but I stop at killing you. But, like, in the MCU, they really don't do that as much, except they bring it up when it's convenient, and they kill motherfuckers all the time. So many people died on that SHIELD helicarrier. Like, I rewatched Avengers 1, and yeah, so it's funny how, like, they don't bring all that stuff up, but, like, Matt brings that up. And so I like that because then, you know, like, Cap kills people. He killed people in World War II. So, like, they're not being too precious like everybody's Batman. But for Matt, for Daredevil, that is a pillar. And, like to go, oh, shucks, to Frank, when he's like, oh, you mean like this guy, this little piece of trash I'm gonna kill right now? Like, for him to say the line, like, will you stop doing that? Or something to that effect. I was sitting here like, come on, bro. That is a line. Like, that is a line that you keep, like, not wanting Frank to cross. And, like, season 2, a big deal of their debate was, like, both of them trying to have the other one come to their side. Like, when he was chained, Frank's like, you're no better than these guys because you let them live. I don't. And then later on, Daredevil's like, come on, man, you don't have to kill him, like, whatever. Like, they're each trying to get each other to their sides. And then now it's just to the point where it's like, Frank's right. Like, at least in the way that they're treating it. To their credit, like, yeah, he's fighting it, but the whole season is basically, like, if you weren't listening to the dialogue so much, or exactly what they were saying, you're basically saying Frank is right, because, like, the way that he tries to kill Bullseye, like, he, for all intents and purposes, did, because if it wasn't for the fact that he lived, he intentionally tried to kill him. Which is, what, like, basically killing him, in terms of superhero. let me see. Oh, Batman doesn't mind a good maiming. You'll wish you were dead when he's done with you. When you hit them and they get back up, I put on they stay now. Exactly. And like the whole season basically was, to me, saying like, if it wasn't for the fact that you were saying that you're against this, you're basically for it. Because if you just allow Frank to go and kill this guy right next to you in your code, in your world, you're no better than Frank, because you allowed this death to occur. So, like, it's just tacit approval of what Frank does. I was just painting his rim because I noticed it. But, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of inconsistencies. At the end of the day, though, I love me more Daredevil. So, what are you gonna do? You know? That's like, I'll deal with however many Caps I need to. But I love Cap. Or X-Men. Well, okay, don't. X-Men's already got bad stuff. Give them really good X-Men, please, please. I swear, like, I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but especially after X-Men 97, I'm just pumped. Especially after Deadpool and Wolverine, like, I want more X-Men. Like, oh, it's my favorite thing ever. Just give me X-Men. I want to see a good live action one. I will settle for, like, you know, the cameos. Like, I'm okay, like, the fact that they put Cable in a Deadpool movie, and he did such a great job, Brolin did, like, at the end of the day, as an X-Men fan, I'm pretty happy. They have bad stuff, but they have 97, and 97 damn near, 97 and X-Men 2 damn near make up for everything. And what really kills me is, like, my favorite stuff is, some of my favorite stuff is part of the bad stuff. Like Psylocke, one of my favorites. Apocalypse, like, all of that's rolled into one terrible one. Oh, and they also have First Class. Let's not forget, that was legit. That was good homage to X-Men fans, and a way to, like, tie it all kind of get together. Although I personally start to question Magneto's age. Like, at the end of the day, like, especially in 97, I was sitting here like, this dude's been alive since WW2. He's frail, man. He's not like, you know, but they'll probably say something like, his electromagnetism gives him the pecs of a god. First Class was good. The end of that movie, chef's a kiss. Alright, I've been letting this dry enough. I think I'm good with the colors. Now, am I gonna give him a light? Oh, not this color. Let's go with turquoise. Am I gonna give him a rim light? So, yeah, they need to redo some X-Men stuff. They don't need to do all the makeup they did for, like, Nightcrawler. Like, that's the reason why he said no to the third one, I think, was because it was, like, such a pain to get into that, like, him and Mystique or whatever. He had so much work done to that outfit or that costume that pretty much it wasn't necessary. There was, like, tattooing or like textures of a tattoo or something like that, and it's like, no, he's just blue, dude. Like, give him a furry suit. Remember, Magneto was turned into a kid again, hence why he isn't so old. Wait, he was? Magneto was turned into a kid again. When did that happen? Am I not up to date on my lore? Am I a fake fan? Oh, man. I'm taking some turquoise. I'm taking some glazed medium. We're going to see about giving him a little light. Alright, here we go. No turning back. Oh! Did all that glazing for me to just paint over it. Yeah, someone turned him into a kid, then he got aged up to his prime again after this, thus while he was a child in World War II, he's only... Oh! I accept it. I accept that. That makes it work. Because, you know, in X-Men, it can always get more ridiculous. I mean, some of the best stuff is kind of based off of a ridiculous premise. Like, Age of Apocalypse is sort of like a little ridiculous premise. He, like, kills his own dad, therefore negating his existence. And it's like, but I don't think that's how it works. But hey, what do I know? I'm just some reader. Okay, let's get some glazed medium in this biatch. The other ridiculous thing too is the Summers family. Like, Love Cable. That shit gets crazy. I think they did Havoc dirty in First Class. Also, he's supposed to be Scott's brother. So, what the fuck? You know, one of my favorite storylines was actually like centered around Havoc. It's it was a comic series called Mutant X, where he goes into a parallel world and he gets lost there, stuck there, and it's like a different version of the X-Men. Beast is like closer to Dark Beast, but he's green. Because of course. I mean, he's not in temperament, but I liked that storyline. What was I just watching that was very similar to that? Oh, we're listening to an audiobook right now called Dark Matter, which I believe is on Apple TV now. And yeah, that's a many worlds multiverse kind of thing. And very similar to this storyline for Mutant X. But basically, yeah, like he's Havoc from this Earth, the Marvel one that we're used to. And then he goes to some alt dimension, and he has to try to figure out his way back. And I think it even has a crossover to the Marvel Zombies world, which is cool. Alright, the thing I'm scared of is transferring this light over to his leg. Let's do it. Nothing do it but to do it. And if it's messed up, so what? It's not like it's on the internet. Oh, okay, so I have several trains of thought going. One of the trains of thought is, I was just thinking about how much fun I've been having by doing this lighting technique. Like in the last couple Zombicides and some other projects I do on off camera. And I was thinking the first time I really ever saw it was Big Child Creative, when they painted Marvel or Zombicide Season 2. Like, that was the first time I really ever saw it done. And that's like a big technique of theirs that they use a lot, is rim lighting and backlighting and stuff like that. So I was thinking of the technique, and I was thinking back to the first time I saw it, as well as on the Marvel Zombicide models themselves. It's pretty cool. But then I just remembered there's like a lot of drama going on with Big Child Creative right now, right? With like some company they made like paints for, and like it's like online drama. I don't even remember it all. I read it all on Reddit. Can't recall it all. But it was like, he said, she said, main takeaway. If you're a business, do your work under contracts, man. Like, get a contract going. It's like, you can avoid so much if you just put it in writing, man. Like Business 101. It was frustrating because I used to work in contracts, and it's so frustrating that people just don't understand the importance of that, of your contracts, and like what they can do for you. You loved X-Force Run where Wolverine's the field team. Oh, yeah. I love the premise of that. Let me read the rest. The story where him, Deadpool, Psylocke, Phantom X to determine who should kill Apocalypse, recently reborn as kid. That one was legit because didn't they get elixir or something to like put an X-shaped tumor in one of them to like basically force him to be part of X-Force? And like, but besides that, the premise of Scott forming that team He's like, all right, you're gonna basically do the stuff that we need to get done, and I'm not willing to like let anybody else. Basically, a secret hit squad of like X-Men, and Wolvie's all for that. He's like, oh yeah. I mean, granted, he was like, sure, you don't have any qualms about it, but yeah, like it makes the most sense that like of all the people, if Xavier isn't around to stop you and he's in charge of the X-Men, makes the most sense that Wolverine would be like, yeah, you're right, let's do this. Let's do this, punk. Let's do this, bub. Yeah, they had to do the dirty work to keep them in the public eye. Yeah. But, like, it makes sense because, especially at that time, weren't they, also after House of M? Like, they were limited in numbers. They couldn't afford to be all goody-goody anymore. It's a different world when you have less than, like, 300 of your kind. And everybody hated you in the first place. At that point, it's like, yeah, no, I ain't playing by those stinking rules. I'm not doing your thing. Professor X here is trying to have Greenpeace, and it's like, dude, we literally know every mutant. Cerebro is bored. Cerebro found everyone. There ain't no new ones coming out. This was after House of M. Yeah. I was tempted to paint my Wolverine as the black and gray X-Force Wolverine. Basically Wolverine's crew versus Purifiers. Yeah, I remember I have that series, whatever it's called, in the graphic novel form, not just the issues, the big old hardback, because it was one of my favorites, like, of the modern runs, because they were losing steam, and I remember the philosophy that they had was like they had too many mutants. Everybody was an X-Man, you know, and they needed an event to bring it back to basics, where it was how it was at the start, where it was like these were the X-Men, they were tight knit. Oh, bug! What the heck? And you know, one of their problems was that they had too many. So they did House of M, which also I was like, wasn't it part of trying to get their rights back once Marvel started coming up? Like, they sold off a lot of the rights to X-Men. They can't have mutants in their movies, so they're not going to want to make new mutants for the movies, because otherwise Sony gets the rights to it, or whoever, Fox. Anyways, but the story was so good because it was so, like, the threat was there. Like, they always talked about extinction. They always had, like, moments like Genosha and whatnot. But, like, this was truly there. It was on their doorstep. Their kind was facing extinction. And it gave a different context to what everyone else was doing. It's like Civil War happened, right? Before then. And, well, I think it might have been concurrent. But Civil War happened, and it's like, yeah, sure, the threat of what could happen with this Registration Act, Superhuman Registration Act, is there, but at the end of the day, it's still the same world. It's just different politics about the world and different consequences. But here, it's like, no, your world just shrank. Like, imagine everyone you knew, poof. And the cause of it wasn't even human. It was Wanda, right? Like, I mean, granted, it's a series of events. She goes kind of crazy. But, like, at the end of it all, it was the urgency that X-Men really needed, because they hadn't really had that. There's only so many worldwide galactic threats you can put out there that are external, that can really drive the urgency. Because at the end of the day, when I was reading comics, what got me really out of the comic thing was like every day they're saving these huge scales, like of things, and it's never like neighborhood Spider-Man, right? Like where it's just trying to get through the day. And there's only so many worldwide catastrophes that I can stand. But when you shrink the world down and really change everything, like everyone, the whole philosophy of what the X-Men were about completely changes when it's actually down to like 300 of them. And within those 300 of them, they split, right? Like not everybody's going to agree on it. There's still going to be like a brotherhood like version. There's still going to be like all these split factions and different philosophies and people in the attitudes that they take toward this change. Some people are just gonna be like, leave me out of it or whatever, you know, I'm not gonna be a hero anymore. And it even changes like the context of Civil War, because like they didn't want to get mixed up. They only had so many mutants left. I remember that part of Civil War, so I think it was concurrent where Civil War happened after, I don't know. So like it was really the one thing that got me back into comics for a little bit, was seeing the story. It was really completely unique from everything else I've ever read up until then in terms of X-Men, because everything else was like the closest to it to me was maybe Age of Apocalypse, and then that led to so many different other things, like the story of Bishop and Cable and Hope going through time, and I don't know, it was such a great run. It was genius, and it's funny to think that it all might have been because it's like I don't want to give more mutants to Fox. After House of M, you start to notice how Cyclops is becoming more like Magneto. Yep. It's funny because out of everyone, he was always the closest to becoming Magneto, because they're both so dogmatic about their beliefs. And Cyclops himself really seeks order in a lot of things. And those type A's, we're all little dictators, right? I'm adding some white to my turquoise. But I need to read more of those ones, because I don't think I have those ones of the Cyclops arc. I knew about it, I read a couple issues, but I think by the time I read it, it was like already full-fledged. I need to suggest to me some books to read for the Cyclops stuff. Because I have... Let me look what I have. Messiah Complex, Messiah War, Endangered Species. Yeah, I think those are the ones. And then, yeah, Messiah War, Messiah Complex. Yeah. Avengers vs. X-Men. Alright. It's going on the list. Will reading that one block, that one big book, will that give me enough of the arc from like start to finish? Like all I'll need to know about it is like the context of the Messiah War? Because if so, I'll be good. I want to make sure I understand everything. Oh yeah. It got me back in to X-Men. X-Men Schism. Okay. Dude, I discovered Comics Explained not too long ago. Not too long ago. Now that I think about it, it was like right at the pandemic. So that's a long time ago. Time is weird. But that right there saved me a ton of looking around. You'd read X-Men Schism before AVX. Okay. Thanks for the suggestion. Cause like I love comics. But like sometimes like that's why I like graphic novels, like when they're all put together. Because I don't want to have to hunt down the context. Comics Explained is a local? You're basically a celebrity, bro. Dude, that's awesome. Like, he's pretty successful in the YouTube sphere. Maybe one day I'll be like that. It's like, Subbar Ninja's local? And I'd be like, yep. There are dozens of fans. Dozens. I don't know. The sphere of painting miniatures, it doesn't get as big as comics. So like an hour away. Oh, out of Orlando. Opposite direction, we have Kenny Boucher. Yeah. I remember seeing one of his videos like during the hurricane, like the last big hurricane. He was like live streaming. The guy. Literal. How am I gonna do this light? If you watch 40k lore videos, Wes Hammer is also local. Jeez! Looks like Florida men are famous men. Stippling this on to give like more stone effect look to it. Now let's highlight the leg. Don't want to do too much on the leg. Feel like I already did. Love the OSL being cast off screen. Thank you, man. This is what I was talking about. Like the stuff I watched Big Child Creative do a long time ago, and I was a big fan. So I'm trying to, like, I didn't see a video or anything of how to do it. I just guessed as to, like, this is probably how they do it. It always gets me super nervous to do like this because you essentially just like go over all of your other work and you just gotta commit. Like you gotta be confident that you'll make it work, you know? I think like that's half of what makes people get really good at painting is just like go for it. You know, you gotta go for it. You can't sit around and thinking like I'm not good enough to try this stuff, because then you're right, you won't ever be. You gotta reach for that one tech above and know that it's not gonna be good. Not the first time usually. Like I've discovered that it's good the first time when you get really good at your craft. Like by the time that you're really good at this stuff, then you can try new things and it might work out the first time because you've got the vocab in your head. You know how stuff works. But when you're just starting off, if you just give up every time that you feel like something's too advanced, then yeah, you're not going to get advanced. You've gotta you gotta put yourself out there and try things out. And the other part of it too is, let's say you fail at it. How is that embarrassing? You know, like, how does anybody get so intimidated? Like, what's gonna happen? It's not like you're in high school for a talent show gonna embarrass yourself in front of the entire school with your paint job. I'm not saying that happened to me. Yeah, it did. But that's beside the point. It's like, what's the worst that can happen if you don't do a good paint job? You'll learn. That's literally the worst that can happen. You learn what worked. You learn what won't work. Like, you gotta dive into this stuff. And the research is what's gonna help you increase your chance of success when you try it out. Definitely, you miss 100% shots you don't take. Exactly. And these days, you have so many resources. First off, you've got me. I'm a resource. If you ever want to do something, learn how to do something, you just give me a shout. And I'll try it out for you. Like, if I haven't done it before. I'll be like, well, I don't know how that works, but let's stumble around and figure it out together. And, yeah, like, the first times I ever tried OSL, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. First times I tried non-metallic metal, didn't know what I was doing. They look terrible. Now, like, I only just started doing this rim light, off-camera light stuff, and, I'm having a great time. Now, granted, I feel like I need to extend this light, although, I don't know, maybe that's good. I know I've gotten better at blending when people say to me, I can't paint like you as I don't have an airbrush. Oh, I love that comment. Like, I mean, I did my Bangarang model, my last video, with an airbrush, and it made me reappreciate it for what it can do. But no, like, you don't need an airbrush for any of that. I think that's good enough. And when I get to respond with, I didn't use an airbrush on this other than priming, varnishing. Yeah, son. That's like when you showed me your Mysterio. And I was like, did you airbrush that, or did you what? I forgot what I asked because I couldn't figure it out, the pattern. And you're like, no, I just did it with a brush. I'm like, oh, hot diggity damn, this guy. Just, that was good stuff. That Mysterio leg, that gold pattern, so good, dude. Like, I think that was one of my favorite ones I saw on your Instagram. Trying to think of the other ones, but that one just stuck out. And not to mention the bowl, you know, like the head. This needs to go a little brighter toward the bottom, so let's try that out. Mysterio looked like, you're welcome, buddy. Mysterio looks like he was fun. Like, out of all the MCP models, like, I see some of the most unique stuff for that Mysterio model because the bowl gives you such a good opportunity to, like, really flex, you know? I don't know how I would do it because that'd be an interesting test. I've done similar stuff, but nothing quite like that. Let's go a little lighter. I enjoy doing the swirl pattern. I see most people just do a spherical, global, reflective. Yeah. I've seen... Okay, so like, there's a similar model in the game Aristaya, by Infinity, that board game. Awesome game, by the way. And there's a model on there that looks like Diva from Overwatch. I've seen someone do it where like there was a reflection of some like a person looking at them. Like it was cool. I probably am not brave enough for that, but at least not today. I think that's good enough for a glow. Do I need something on the other side? Because it's funny, like, when you look here, it's like you don't see any of the glow. Do I need something on this side? Do I need to extend it? No, technically it's right. I don't know. It feels like can't see anybody do a swirl design other than yours. No, for sure. I don't recall seeing anything like that. Yeah. It's funny because I didn't even notice it for a little bit because I was looking at that gold. It was like a bronzy, and like it was buttery. It was creamy. It was clean. I feel like there needs to be orange here. Let's do it. Start with this red I already have on the palette. I know he's already red, but you're not my real dad, so... I think, I'll just use this orange. Use this Abtulung 502. You're showing your Spider-Man models? No! I know your Spider Foes. I saw those. Oh, no! You might have shown me... Let me look at my Insta. 1 second. I'm gonna get this orange out. I'm gonna get some primary yellow out. I have not used a whole palette for one model in one session before. That's because I want to see if you can figure out how I painted the red on Peter Parker. Yeah, give me a second. Let me, and then the other one I'm getting out is sand. See how this works. Fancy paint comes in a tube. Fancy paint, I'm better than you. Let's see. Oh yeah, you did show me Miles Morales. Spider-Man with the venom around him. Those are clean. Yeah. The lines. Hard to tell. Did you... Dark red, bright red. The lines, maybe a purple wash? I don't know. That's how I'd do it. How'd you do it? The way I would have done it is dark red base coat, wash with purple, pick out the squares with dark red, pick it out the highlights with bright red. Or I would paint the whole thing dark red, do rough sketch highlights of bright red, and then wash it all with purple and then re-highlight as I go. Like those are the ways I would do it. I probably went a little crazy with this. Yeah, I probably should have just left that alone. You paint shadow tones first, work your way up with deep red. No washes at all. That's how you get such a clean finish. Because it's like uniform. Like I used to do that before the GW made washes, and even though it's technically flat, it looks really good. Like technically flat meaning like the value doesn't change too much from dark to light. Like still it's clean. Since I didn't use washes, had to stay within each square. Yep. That was how I painted like my Warhammer stuff for the longest time. Was dark to light, no washes, and I just picked it clean. Like, God, people do not understand the tedious work that is. Good on you, buddy. So you just you don't use washes, like is it a personal preference or you just like the look of non-washed stuff? Because I can understand that. Like there's certain things I really just like the look of. And it's funny because I tell people all the time that if you just did solid base coats, which is basically that technique, like it'll look better than most people's work because it's solid. You know, like I've done it before where I've only done base coats and then highlighted those base coats with like a two-tone effect. And like that's it, and it'll be clean, like it'll look great. And people underestimate that. They always want to jump straight to the fancy stuff. And really, I always tell people that like base coats are the foundation of your paint job. And if you can learn base coats and if you can apply them solid, then you'll be better than what most people are, because they skip that phase. They skip that phase of just solid opaque coats and they go straight into trying other stuff, and I feel like it's a disservice if you don't. This one's not as successful. That's fine, it's only a small part. They look like little flowers. It's fine. We're gonna glaze this red everywhere then. don't like how washes stain models, changing the tone of color when I don't want it to. Instead, I can start with the darkest tones, work with it. Yeah, with 100% control. I get that. Like, it for some stuff, I don't wash it specifically for that reason. Because you can control exactly what it looks like. Now, personally, I love the stain look, but you're right in that you have to control it. Like, you have to learn how to work within that, the way that it flows. You have to be able to predict how it's going to stain and control the staining. And that's a lot of work. And sometimes I'm not in. But like the first time I ever saw that stained look, it was before GW made their washes. The first time I ever saw it, like somebody who made their own washes, back when you used to have inks, and you have to use like dish soap to make your washes. Hell, they didn't even really explain what a wash was. I saw it once at a tournament, and I just I loved that look so much, but I had no idea what gave that look. And then when the washes came out, and I tried them out for myself for the first time, I was like, finally, I know how to get that look. Washes definitely have their place, especially for looking used, worn, perfect for something like 40K. Comic bond, yeah, I can see that. As you can tell from like all my painting videos, I use washes pretty judiciously. Well, actually, you know, now that I'm looking at this, this fire doesn't look so bad. This orange glow. I wonder if I don't think I need to put any on him. Although it would make it more believable. We're doing it. Even though he's already red. Let's put it on the dark places. It's funny because he's already got this color on him, but we'll see if we can separate it. Because it's the only way you really get OSL to tie very well together, is if you make sure that you tie it in to the surrounding areas. I will tell you though, when GW made those washes, changed my life. Changed my painting life. Never painted the same way again. I do feel their new formula isn't as good. Oh, you're right. Absolutely. When they first came out with them back in like what, 2008-ish? Sometime around then. Their sepia, Seraphim Sepia, was one of my favorites, right? Absolute one of my favorites. It's been getting weaker and weaker with every iteration. It is like, it doesn't do shit now. It used to stain like as much as Devil in Mud, but it had a parchment color. And I saved that bottle for as long as I could. I kept like using it sparingly, but my vampire army was painted entirely with that sepia wash. So I can show you the difference in the staining power. It got weak as hell. Now, when they make the contrast paints, that skeleton horde, it don't stain nothing. Like, man, it's so frustrating. I want something that stains as strong as Devlin Mud or Agrax Earthshade, but not so brown, you know? Like, Null Noil acts almost hydrophobic and it drives you. Yeah, my Null Noil is like always glossy. My Reichland Flesh Shade, always glossy. Super crazy. Watch in real time bead to start to bead together. It's always glossy and beads up on. Yeah, flat surfaces are just in general really bad for washes. But if you get Lamian medium for washes or contrast medium for contrast paints, you just like you put on your heavy thing and then wash your brush off and then take some of the medium and then just feather it up. It'll make a smooth transition. It's like basically water or eraser for contrast or wash. Yeah, I was thinking of doing the same thing, adding matte varnish to Null Noil. I just, like, lately I've just been matte varnishing whenever I'm done. And, my buddy gave me the sudden realization of the fact that you can just brush on matte varnish. Like, I used to always only think of it in terms of airbrush, and I would get so frustrated because it would frost and change the color too, as you would be aware of. And then I just heard somebody talking overhearing it from my buddy, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I just brush it on." I was like, "Wait, what? Why didn't I ever think of that?" So I just watered it down a little bit, and I brushed it on. I'm like, never gonna airbrush matte varnish ever again. Like, you don't need to. It's freaking amazing. All right. Oh, let's see. Matte varnish is the only correct varnish. No, don't tell not just Mechabat. Don't tell Marco. He hates matte varnish. Hates it. Because it dulls the color down, but I don't think he's ever brushed it on. But then again, inherently, shouldn't it always dull your color down? I don't know, but once I started brushing it on, I noticed, like, there's almost no change in color other than the fact that it doesn't shine and it looks better. He's damn well done. All I'd have to do is paint his rim black. I don't know, let me look. I kind of like adding that orange. Marco will beat your ass. I think, yeah, I am, all I gotta do is a black ring, which I will do off camera. Now, the other thing I was planning on doing at one point or another is actually adding stained glass to this model with resin. Will I? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it. Like, I feel like you use AK's Ultra Matte and it's the gospel. I've got to try that. I haven't tried AK Interactive's anything. I think that's their name. I haven't tried any of that before, so I need to try it. It's just like I get so used to the stuff I already have, and for like the last couple of years, I've just not been buying any hobby stuff, just trying to use what I have. But I always hear good stuff about theirs, and I think they make really good like texture stuff, like textures for bases, like mud and stuff. I use Vallejo's outside of GWs. I use Vallejo's, like desert sand and stuff like that. Thank you, Mr. Steve Jones. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna paint his base ring off camera, but yeah, I think I might not do his actual stained glass. I don't know. That's gonna be a big project for just a board game piece. But yeah, I'm gonna probably call it a night tonight. But I really appreciate you hanging out, man. Like, always fun to do this stuff. I'll let you know if I switch over to Twitch. I probably will. But in the meantime, I think I'll still stick it to Tuesdays. Maybe I might change it to Wednesdays. I don't know. But yeah. At the end of the day, though, I'm just happy I got this guy done. I hadn't streamed in, what, 2 weeks? So that's a long time to not have a finished model. But anyways, I will say that this has been a grand old time. I will post the finished work on Instagram, along with my like Hawkeye. I don't think I've posted him yet. I'll post all that stuff, but besides that, you guys have yourself an amazing day. Make sure you keep slinging paint, my friends. Have a good one.